You gotta check out the MissingNo Perler I just finished. Well, almost finished. People have been commenting for me to make MissingNo since I started my account. When you look at it, you don't really think it would be a very difficult sprite to make. However, you would be totally wrong. This thing took a long time to do. And considering there's only 4 colors in this whole Perler, I was surprised as well. Purple, fawn, white, and black are the only ones I ended up using. If you watched my MissingNo lore video on this, you'll notice that I started off trying to do all of the colors like in rows, like I normally do. But then I ended up switching and just starting with one color because I realized it was taking way too long to make it. With a normal Pokemon Perler Bead design, there's lines and arrays that you can follow with the Perler, so it all makes sense when you look at it. However, MissingNo was totally random, so there's no easy pattern to fill in all of these spots. However, once I switched to just doing individual colors, it did go a lot faster. Thankfully. This sprite also is an upsized version of the original. The original MissingNo sprite was just over 1 board long, and the person who ordered this one wanted to try to make it a little bit bigger. So doing the 2 board version of this, I think, was the best call. It's large enough to get a good look at it, and it's not too big to take up a ton of space. Plus the fact that this thing is squared off and every single bead is filled in means there's no gaps. So poking holes on this thing took a fraction of the amount of time because I could just blast through it. It also helps with the consistency of your melts, because as all the beads heat up, they're all going to be the same temperature. And having those little gaps in between where there's no beads can cause those ones to cool down slightly, which in the end can affect your melt if you're not paying attention to those. But usually it's not that bad, so you don't have to worry about it most of the time. Like I mentioned before, this is kind of a perfect sprite to melt because it's a giant square. If I were to fill in backgrounds for all the Pokemon Perler Bead designs that I have, it would make the melts easier to achieve fully flat, but some of these are pretty big, so the background beads would end up causing me to do so much more work. You can see here as I melt these beads that they're all almost closed at the same amount, which is awesome because it makes the final melt look so dang cool. You're gonna see it here in a second. These are the melts where I love taking the parchment paper off the most, because like I've said before, this is the first time I get to actually see the whole melt after I'm done. And this one did not disappoint. I'm very happy with how this turned out. It's so pixelated and cool. I love asking all my followers this question: what side do you prefer, melted or unmelted? Okay, bye!